What's up, everyone? Welcome back. This is the Heelcast recapping April. Jesus, guys, what was it? April 6th? April
17th.
Today's
April 17th.
So we're reviewing April 13th Impact Wrestling episode. Happy Easter to everyone. If you missed the Heelcast last week, check us out over on FK9's page. The RAV and Raveneffect, Jesus Christ. The RAV and FK9 did the show. It got posted on Fool Killer's page, so check that out. I am your host this week, the RAV, Raveneffect. With me this week, returning Mr. Fappy himself. If it makes you Fappy, why are you so sad? Mr. Hurls, what's up, buddy?
Oh, man. The porno convention went great down in Florida. I got to meet everybody. I was trying to get Paige's autograph, but Alberto El Patron went on a drunken rant, and I was not able to get her autograph. But everything's cool, though. A lot of crazy things happened since I've been gone, but I am very excited to be back and talk some Impact Wrestling.
That's right. It's good to have Hurls back. Also returning with us, the man coming from the infamous mob, the Mafia himself, infamous Chef. What's up, man?
I'm chilling, baby. I had to put myself in rehab after that Monday night Chef shit.
Chef was war, and I did. You know what? I haven't been on Twitter in a while, but I did get on there to read some of those tweets, and a lot of that shit had me laughing pretty hard. So, Chef, thanks for taking one for the team. Let's take some more for the team, just hopefully not in that kind of bad way. So let's just go ahead. Everyone check out ImpactAsylum.net. My God, it might even be ImpactAsylum.com. I'm sorry, I'm off my game. It's been a long day for the RAV here. Fuck Mondays. Check out Impact Asylum. You can also check out our boy FK9 there. Special thanks to FK9 for last week, too, as well. For holding us down, putting the editing together, getting the show up on its page. Also, check out Andre Corbeil, his show every week. Look, and in case those of you that missed it, what we're asking everyone, Impact Wrestling fans, when our show comes out, when you see us on Twitter, when you see FK9, when you see Andre Corbeil and our shows come out, all we're asking, Heelcast Nation, take the 30 seconds, click that button, share it, help us spread the positive word from Impact Wrestling so that maybe some honest people that are going to give real reviews and not just shit all over Impact Wrestling because they're Impact Wrestling are actually going to get out there on the internet waves. That is what I'm asking of all of our listeners, because trust me, we don't make $1 off this. We're just trying to make Impact Wrestling great again by actually getting the word spread out there. So everyone, just do that for us. Guys, we're going to hop into the news. Hurls, you had tipped me off. So Bobby Lashley is going to be joining the World of Sport Wrestling thing here. I don't know too much about what's going on with the World of Sport, but Hurls, what's your thoughts on this one? Hurls, if you are talking, you are on mute.
Basically, they needed some more star power, and, I mean, the guys that they had aren't really well-known worldwide, so I think adding Bobby Lashley to this gives them that credibility that they're looking for, and it gives them a big draw. So I think it's a really good move to bring him over there, and there's going to be other Impact stars that are going to be over there as well. I believe Magnus is going to be over there, so, you know, they're going to mix in some Impact wrestlers. It's going to be a 10-part series. I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully the fans here in the States can watch it weekly via the Fight app or maybe via YouTube. I'm not sure how they're going to do that, but I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a fun 10-episode series.
Chef, you got any thoughts on this?
No, I agree. I think it's going to be a really good move. It's a good look for the WOS. But, you know, not saying they got star power. I mean, I know you guys aren't big Grado guys, but Grado was loved in the UK. Like, that dude is the man over there.
Yeah, you know, to our British fans, I've never been a big fan of your guys' humor, and Grado is a big part of it. Just kidding, everyone. Much love for the UK out there. You guys are probably the most wild Impact Wrestling crowd there is there, so do love it. Chef kind of stole my thunder. I was going to make a Grado joke at some point, but it'll definitely be cool to check out World of Sport when it comes out. Bobby Lashley, Magnus, Grado. who knows who else will be there. Maybe Mark Andrews might show up since WWE's too dumb to lock that dude in a contract. In fact, it's too dumb to use him right with Burek. So kind of a dumb, ballsy move here. So Alberto El Patron, today he just signed his deal with Impact Wrestling. I was shocked to find out last week that he was just on a handshake gentleman's deal with Jeff Jarrett. Jeff, thoughts on this one?
Welcome to Impact.
Man, a few words. Hurls?
Well, it's definitely good they got him locked down, and I'm glad they were able to work out the handshake deal so well. So at least there's some trust building up there. So it's good that they're able to get him locked down because I think he's going to be a pretty big piece in the puzzle.
You know, when I heard that he was on a handshake deal, I'll be honest, I expected the worst for two reasons. One, how many times Impact Wrestling has got shunned from stuff like this, and two, the dude may have cleaned up his act and gotten happy, but look, Alberto's kind of had a high head and definitely had some issues in the past. And there were rumors out there that were even confirmed by WWE, I believe, this past week that came out that said that they were reaching out trying to bring the guy back. He said he would never return there. Thank you for being a man of your word. Welcome to Impact Wrestling. Dude, it was ballsy as fuck to not have that dude on a contract and have him go over both on EC3 and Bobby Lashley. But thankfully it worked out, and we'll see where it goes from there. Obviously, probably the biggest name that's out there that they could get, so he's in there. I guess Jack Swagger would be the only other one, if you want to call that a name. But welcome to Impact Wrestling officially, Mr. El Patron. And thank you for all that you've been doing. Definitely a change. Keep talking shit on the other company. Appreciate that. And keep your head on your shoulders. Now, guys, another returning face. Labeled by many as the best X Division wrestler to never win the X Division title. My boy, the player from the Himalaya, Sanjay Dutt, back with Impact Wrestling. So he's apparently going to be part of Double J's Inner Circle. As of now, it appears he's going to be a producer. There's no word on his exact role, but many in the company are excited he will bring a younger perspective to the creative vision of the company. It's also been announced, so there's going to be an X Division Championship match this coming Thursday on the live show or semi-live show. 5 or 6 man match. We'll kind of talk about that a little bit later tonight in the show, and we kind of preview next week's Impact. But Sanjay is competing in that match. Chef, what's your thoughts on Sanjay's return?
You know what? I love this because when I first started watching Impact, he was the guy that I kind of fell in love watching. So to get him back and to watch him do his thing once again, honestly, like I've been telling people, even if he only wins the belt for one night, I think Sanjay Dutt deserves that with his amazing career. So having him back, I think it's a fucking blessing, to be completely honest, because the man he's a legit talent, and I mean, I'm fired up about it. You know what I mean? And I think I did read something. I think that he's going to be working with the X Division guys. So, I'm loving it. Welcome back, baby.
I love the signing, especially since he turned down a job with the WWE to be a trainer at the Performance Center. So I think this is just icing on the cake. Plus, we get a guy, original X Division guy, never won the title. This is the time. No, and the guy can still go. I mean, he's only like 33, 34. He's got a lot of wrestling left in him. So I'm really excited about this signing. I'm excited. I know he'll be used as a wrestler in some capacity. I hope he wins the X Division title. I don't know when. Maybe not for a little while yet, but hopefully soon.
Yeah, it's a storyline that really writes itself, and I've written stuff like this on what was TNAAsylum.net about how they should have brought Sanjay back, how it's a storyline that writes itself, how everyone says, he's been labeled the best X Division wrestler to never win that X Division title. For me, I think it's time, make this a big storyline, put a build-up, have Sanjay win the belt at some point. And look, when, not Destination X, but Option C comes around, have Sanjay be the guy to finally say, look, I've worked my ass off. This title means so much to me. Not yet. I'm not cashing it in. I'm going to ride this X Division championship out. I'm going to bring the prestige back to it, and I will cash it in next year. Have someone like Sanjay, who's worked his ass off to get there, take that title, value it, bring some prestige back. Look, I think right now, the time you got to build Andrew Everett and Trevor Lee. Whether it's for the belt or whether it's not, that's the feud. I want to see. I'd like to see Andrew Everett get it. But it's Sanjay. Sanjay's got to get this belt, man. He's still young. Dude can still go. It's awesome to have him back. And so when we talk about the X Division match, so there's another guy out there. I know nothing about this guy, but I'm hearing great things about him. But there's a guy named Desmond Xavier. So he's rumored to be coming into Impact Wrestling on some sort of a handshake deal himself. Impact Asylum's been singing the praises of this guy all week. Hurls, do you know anything about this guy?
I actually have no clue, but some of the sites I go to, I have been hearing really good things about him. I wish I did know more about him, but unfortunately I got nothing on this guy.
Jeff, you know anything about him?
Yeah, actually, I've been seeing a whole lot of like YouTube videos because this guy Anir that I talked to from Impact Fan Nation, he stays sending me videos like, yo, he's a super fan of this guy. I don't even know how he's ever seen this guy, but like, he's like, yo, you got to see this, and he just keeps sending me feed after feed. Fucking guy is amazing. Like, this is a guy that when you see it, you're gonna be like, holy shit! Like him versus Everett, him versus Trevor Lee is gonna be nuts.
Yeah, you know, I mean, it's rare that on Impact Asylum everyone's kind of in unison on a certain talent. But that's kind of been the vibe with this dude since I've heard the name dropped. I'm still hoping that Impact mans up and brings in Jigsaw and Shinron permanently at some point. But I'm excited to see this dude. I mean, shit, we might as well just talk about it now. So look, there's the X Division title match coming week. Let's see. So there's Trevor Lee. There's Andrew Everett. So was it announced as a 5 or 6 man match, guys?
It was announced as a 6 with a question mark of who's the next guy or something.
Yeah, and then there was Sanjay Dutt. There was Suicide, DJZ, and then a mystery opponent, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So DJZ got the broken beehole. I can't imagine he's going to show up. So possibility Desmond Xavier is going to be the 5th guy in there. Will it be a 5-man match? I can't imagine DJZ is going to have clearance to be in this match. I would be stunned. Maybe we'll see someone like Eddie or Davey in the match. But we're going to have at least a 5-man match with a mystery opponent in there, possibly a 6 with another mystery opponent. Maybe Desmond is going to be the guy. Are you guys in agreement, or you think we're going to get someone else?
I think we might get like another indie guy, or maybe from like Crash. You know what? They might even put like Laredo Kid or Garza Jr. in there. Those guys can fly. Honestly, if this guy DJZ is not 100%, last thing you want is for a superstar like that to get hurt. So hopefully he just gets healthy, stays out of the ring for a little while, nurse it, come back, do what you got to do. But like I said, I mean, with Garza Jr. and Laredo Kid, those guys can easily get into that match.
Yeah, I think you got a lot of options with that. I mean, anytime you got X Division wrestlers that you can put a lot of multi-man matches with, whoever they get, it's going to be a good match, especially under this new regime. I think the match quality has just been phenomenal lately. So I'm excited. I can't wait to see, and I want to learn more about Desmond Xavier, however they use him.
Okay. So I'm just going to say this. Yeah, it could be Garza. It could be Laredo Kid. I hope it's not Rocket. I hope it's not Braxton Sutter. Keep it real. If we're going to get anyone that's on the current roster in that match to step in, to take DJZ's place, my boy Homicide is my recommendation. I love Homicide. I want to see him back in the X Division. I don't know, if Homicide's going to return to the ring for Impact or not, but that's the dude that I want to see jump in there as that other guy. Unless we're going to get someone like a Shinron. God, what was that guy from the one night only last year? The Kentucky Gentleman. What was that guy's name?
Oh, was that Chuck Taylor?
Chuck Taylor.
Yeah. I know he was GFW for a little bit. I'm not going to complain if that's the guy. Obviously, it won't be David Starr, but it's hopefully one of those guys comes in too. Let's freshen up this roster. Now, this isn't news, but it's a rumor. I don't know much about these guys either, but MSTKI from Impact Asylum has kind of sang their praises for a long time. This team OI4K, they're also rumored to be making an impact at these coming tapings too. Hurls, do you know anything about these guys?
Another one I don't really know, but I've also heard good things. I did take a look at, saw a picture of them on the internet, and their tire looks pretty cool. But that's all I really could base it off of.
Jeff, you know anything about these guys?
I never heard nothing until you guys said the name earlier.
Yeah, to be honest, I mean, MSTKI, this guy on Impact Asylum, he knows quite a bit of the indie stuff. He's been hyping them up. I've recognized the name for over a year with him hyping them up. So be nice to see something like that come in. Big shout out to Impact Asylum. I'm going to give a shout out to my boy Chairman, 1%er. Our listeners down from day one. So we miss you guys. Still appreciate all the love there. Chairman, we got to get you back on someday too, man. Let's hop into Impact. I'm not happy about this. So I'm not fucking feeling Reno Scum. So Reno Scum opens up. They get the victory over Garza and Laredo Kid and DK in a three-way tag team match. They're booking Reno Scum pretty hard. The T-shirts are out. The Oi 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 Chor can or whatever you want to call it. Steph, what were your thoughts on this match?
I mean, listen, I like Reno Scum. Not gonna lie, I really do like these guys. I think they're gonna be, a force. Obviously. I just don't understand what they're doing with Decay, especially after Decay's been so dominant for so long, and then as soon as all the new guys come in, they kind of just take one L after another L. It's like, what the fuck? I mean, like I said, I like Reno Scum, but at the same time, it's like these are supposed to be the baddest motherfuckers on the roster, and you got them just being perennial losers. So I don't know. Like I said, I like them, but it just makes no sense.
Yeah, the tag team division, I like the fact that they're getting a lot of teams in there. We got so many teams now compared to what we had 2 months ago. I thought the match was fine. I actually do like Reno Scum. They seem a little forced right now, but I think that's because Impact really wants to get these guys out there and give them a strong positive vibe. Unfortunately, though, it's making the Decay look a little weaker at the same time. Like I said, Laredo Kid and Garza Jr., I definitely like them. I mean, I think they got a lot of potential, maybe even as single stars. But, I was okay with the match, but Decay's got to definitely at these next tapings got to start winning.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's my main gripe is and even going back to last year, ever since the Hardys beat them down for glory, Steve and Abyss, man, like, they fucking job and they job and they job and they job and they job. I can't even remember the last time DK got a victory. I'm sure they've gotten a victory this year at some point. I mean, Rosemary is still being booked well, thank God, but I think Steve and Abyss deserve a lot better than that, especially Steve. Steve eats a lot of these pins, and I'll tell everyone this: fucking go to YouTube, type in the Heelcast or TNA Heelcast, the interview. Listen to that shit if you never have. For our new listeners, listen to the interview that we did with them and tell me that Crazy Steve is not a star. Like, that dude, if they let him go, that man's a star. I think he deserves better than that. It's just, my gripe is just the way that DK is being booked. I don't have a problem, getting the new talent over or Reno Scum getting the victory. Dude, I'm fucking digging Garza and Laredo Kid, man. Like, I enjoy watching those motherfuckers go. Like, those guys can really wrestle. I just don't. I hate the fucking way they're booking DK. Before we move on, anyone got anything else they want to add into this topic? Anything?
Actually, I do want to say, before I listened to that podcast you did with DK, because at this point, once again, I was just a Heelcast fan. I never gave two shits about fucking Crazy Steve, because to me, he was just a clown with a fucking stupid horn and a teddy bear. You know what I mean? Like, I never gave a shit. But when I heard that podcast, I was like, whoa, like, that motherfucker's dirty with it. You know what I mean? I was like, Crazy Steve is legit. And you don't know that because they don't slap a mic on this guy. You know, and even when they do, it's very short. Like, it's really, they don't give him airtime, because if they did, Crazy Steve could still be Decay and do his singles thing, because like I keep saying, before, Decay was losing, to me, Crazy Steve was on some MVP type shit. Like, he was just on a whole nother level. And I literally, from that podcast, after hearing it, I looked at him completely different, because he was amazing on it. So, once again, like you said, if you haven't heard it, look it up, man. If not, I'll start tweeting that shit every day until you all hear it. And you'll be sitting the same way I was. If you weren't a fan, you'll be a fan. If you are a fan, enjoy it.
Dude, thank you. For real. That guy, if they gave him a mic and let him just kind of go with it and roll with it, dude could get over big. I'm telling you, like, Crazy Steve is a star. Now, speaking of stars, our world champ, Bobby Lashley, is defending next week on the semi-live show. We're going to talk this big, but Chef, Hurls, Cowboy, James Storm getting the title shot. So my question real fast, Chef, in Orlando when this was going on, because I was always under the impression it was just James Storm or EC3, but Matt Morgan was thrown into this. Was Matt Morgan a name that you guys cheered for in the Impact Zone?
Hell yeah. Matt Morgan got a huge pop. Matt Morgan got a huge pop. Magnus got a huge pop. Matt Morgan, I think, was the bigger, holy shit, this guy's actually back. There was fans that I've never seen before that I guess they knew who he was. I think a lot of old school fans are actually coming back because of Jeff Jarrett and some of the older guys, because there's a lot of guys that were rocking old school T-shirts, and I was like, whoa, where'd you guys come from? You know what I mean? And they were enjoying it. Matt Morgan got mad love, so pretty cool.
So they did pull you guys in the crowd, though. Didn't they ask, who do you guys want, James Storm or EC3, whoever got the loudest reaction?
Yeah, but I don't know, man. Storm definitely got it, without a doubt. But, everybody seemed real. No one's beating Storm. James Storm is, I'm going to tell you, if you go to the Impact Zone and you want James Storm versus, fucking Rosemary for Knockouts champ versus everyone else, they're going to cheer for James Storm. James Storm will win any fucking fan vote there is, because, they love him there. James Storm is, fucking icon there.
Did they give you Matt Morgan as an option to cheer for? Or was it just between those two?
Nah, I think it was just, I didn't remember Matt Morgan there. I think it was just literally EC3 and James Storm.
Gotcha. Hurls, what's your thoughts on Storm getting the title shot?
Well, he got one in 2016, and that match was really awesome, and it just showed you that James Storm can, go whenever he wants to. He's such a phenomenal worker. I was really happy he's getting the title shot, but at the same time, I don't know if he's going to be able to beat Lashley. It's going to be a really good match, but I think he deserves it.
Chef, any thoughts on Storm getting the title shot?
Yeah, I kind of wanted him to be under the DCC flag going in, because, I don't know, once again, like I said, they really did nothing with them, so him going back to the Cowboy, I was okay with it, but I was like, wow, GCC meant nothing, whatever.
I gotcha. So,
I just want to say, Chef, I think the problem with DCC is they got created right before the regime change, and unfortunately, I guess the new regime just wasn't feeling them.
Nah, I don't think it had to do with the regime. I think they just did it wrong. If you see how LAX comes in, they're all fired up, and, they fight very aggressive. They fight very, they're just aggressive-looking dudes. You got Bram and Eddie Kingston, two bad dudes. Let them brawl, or just kind of book it kind of like Aces and Eights, where they're beating people up. Let them be goons, and they really didn't do shit with them.
Yeah, a lot of wasted potential.
I also think two factors. When they would fucking talk and the lips on the mask just weren't moving and coordinating with the speech, I think that hurt. And I'll just keep it real. When you're a tag team, and at that point when the Hardy tag creative and weren't going to lose a match to anyone, that's not going to help anyone either. And basically it was MDK, and you had two heels going at it, and it was harder for one or the other to get over, too. I mean, there was a lot of stuff that really just didn't go right for the DCC, and it's unfortunate for real. I will say this, and then I'm going to ask you guys your thoughts. I say by no means Thursday night should Lashley walk out the champ. I think you 100% pull the trigger. It's a live show. You got to try and bring some fans back. You got to make an impact, pun intended. You got to do something big on your live show. It's time to pull the trigger. It's time for James Storm to win that world title. If I'm booking, if I'm in charge, there's no fucking way over my dead body that I don't pull that trigger and put the belt on Storm. The Lashley is champ thing, like, Bobby Lashley's a man. He deserves it, and I have no problem with the guy regaining the world title in the far future. It's just, this has been beaten to death. And I'm a fan of long title reigns. I really am. But pull the trigger, put it on Storm, and build the Slammiversary, either your King of the Mountain match for the world title or your EC3 versus James Storm. Make the people happy, because the people want to see that match. Chef, pull the trigger, make Storm the champ Thursday or not?
Absolutely. I definitely think it's James Storm's time to get the belt. I mean, I'm a huge Bobby Lashley guy. Lashley's a beast. He's had a great run. I mean, it's like you say, though, if you got to do something where people leave and go, oh, shit, and they want to come back again. James Storm winning that belt will do that, you know, so definitely pull the trigger.
Hurls?
Well, I think I agree with you. You know, it's the first live show of the year besides One Night Only. So you got to make a statement. And would I love to see James Storm win it? Oh, definitely. Because, you know, they got to start their Slammiversary feuds going pretty quickly here, because July 2nd is right around the corner. So if you're going to do it, you got to do it soon. And what's kind of making me think like James Storm might win it is because of the fact that Bobby Lashley is going over to World of Sport for a little bit. So it's definitely a possibility. Would I do it? Would I pull it? As long as you got a good feud lined up for Storm for Slammiversary, because that's one of your big pay-per-views, then yes, I would do it.
I would say he's got a title defense against Kingston and Bram that he can do in like a little, you know, a sidebar there as a world champ, because obviously he's got heat with DCC, and something's got to boil over from that. And then you set that up with EC3 after the EC3 heel turn. Look, my guess is that they're not going to do it. I think either the DCC is going to interfere and cost him the match, or EC3 is going to interfere and cost him the match. That is my thoughts. And it's unfortunate. It's how I see it going. I hope I'm proved wrong. I hope to pull the trigger. I'm just happy to see Storm getting that limelight. And maybe they're going to build Storm to winning that belt at Slammiversary. But who knows? We'll find out Thursday. It's exciting shit.
Well, the way that you said it, and I'm not trying to cut you off with the EC3 thing, I think it would be better if it was done where EC3 just kind of stood on the ramp, you know, James Storm win, and then EC3 beat up on James Storm and kind of, you know, stand over him like, you know, I'm back, and do the whole heel thing. I think that would be pretty cool.
Yeah, it would. Definitely. Now, we talk EC3. Now, we can't ignore the fact that EC3 and Pritchard had a thing. So I guess I'm going to try and sum this up as much as I can. So EC3 says he doesn't know Pritchard or trust him, says he doesn't like the new regime, feels things are rigged. So Pritchard kind of responds to the audience, or asking the audience was EC3 idea. EC3 kind of goes over about, you know, how they're going to hold the throne over his head. He's broken his back for the company. Pritchard gives him advice to go look in a mirror, ask himself what happened to EC3. Pritchard gets in his face, like, give me a fucking break. But he asked him what happened to the top man at Impact. We all been wondering that. He asked him if he tapped out on himself against El Patron. So EC3 says thank you, and he's going to take his advice. He's going to go find out what he needs to do to prove to Pritchard, the audience, and himself what he's truly capable of. Pritchard wishes him luck to shake hands. I think it's really leading up to the heel turn. I hope, because I was the one on this show all last year to say I told you so, but EC3 as a face does not work that well. Hurls, what's your thoughts on this whole segment and ordeal?
Yeah, I think it's definitely going back to Bruce Pritchard reminding EC3 of who he is, and what eventually I think what it will lead to is EC3 remembering who he was, basically. The good guy stuff hasn't been working lately, so I think it's time to go back into the old tricks and start causing havoc on the Impact roster.
Chef, what you got on this one?
Just turn heel already. You know it's not working. Turn heel, and all I want to say is, yo, Ethan, if you're listening, once again, like I told you before, it's the house that you built. Turn heel. Take this bitch back over. This is your motherfucking house.
EC3, still my favorite. Always will be, although I want Storm to get the belt. And then after Storm is champ, EC3 reigns supreme forever. Heel EC3, trouble. EC3 and Spud back together. Pull the trigger, turn him heel, just don't have him cost Storm the belt. Build EC3 and James Storm at Slammiversary. That was my fucking birthday. I want to see that shit. Heel EC3 is so much better. So, Braxton, Sutter, and Allie defeat KM and Sienna. We'll talk the match first, and then we'll talk the debut after that. So, Chef, what were your thoughts on this match?
It was a decent match. I like KM. You know, honestly, I can't get behind Braxton. I wish I could. I like Braxton. He's a good dude. It was a good match. It's just, I don't know, man. Like, I just can't get behind him. You know, and if you listen, it's like everybody's cheering for Allie. You know, it don't matter if she wrestles in his matches or not. Like, it's just you can't get behind the guy for some reason. So I actually was kind of hoping that Sienna and KM would win. You know, I think it meant more. I don't know. I just love Braxton. Awesome guy. Just can't get behind him.
I thought it was a pretty good mixed tag match. I thought it told a good story. I think Braxton Sutter definitely is benefiting from having Allie there, because he's not really going to get over by himself, at least not with this character. So I didn't mind the match. I like KM. I like what I see. He's got good promo skills. He's a big dude. It's intimidating, that's for sure. So, Sienna, what more can you say about her? So, I thought the match was really, really, really well done, and I'm not going to say what happened after, because I think that's where you're going next. So I'll just let you introduce that part.
Yeah, we're gonna get to that, trust me. But dude, Jesus fucking Christ, I can't get behind Braxton Sutter. I can't, dude. I wanted this fucking guy in Impact, like when they were doing the tryouts and shit last year or whatnot. You know, like I've spoken to the guy back and forth on Twitter. He's like a legitimate nice guy, and like I want the guy to be successful, but fuck, there's nothing clicking with the guy. I think it probably had to do with the X division. It's just not fitting for him. He's out of it, but I'm still kind of salty. Like, why the fuck is this dude in the X division? And he was getting, like, they were putting him over big, and he's still getting a big push, man. I love Allie, dude. I want him fucking KM and Sienna to win. Like, I don't know what it is. Shit, man. They had to stop pushing Braxton so hard. But, you know, Allie has these things that a female has. They're called boobs. Sienna has things that a female has. They're called boobs. Congo Kong got the biggest titties of them all. What the fuck is this dude's body, man? Fuck. Like, shit. So, I'll keep it real, man. Like, I've always had a little pooch belly. I mean, I'm busting my ass at the gym. I'm doing 2 hours of cardio. I'm lifting weights. Like, I'm working my ass off. This dude's more athletic than me, but, like, I can't really body shame myself too bad when I see Congo Kong come out, because, like, the fuck is with this dude's body. about the weirdest looking motherfucker I've seen, just body wise, in a long time. Chef, your thoughts on Congo Khan and his man tits?
You know what? I know some of his work. He's athletic. He's a talented guy. I never cared, and once I realized, I was like, who the hell is this Fury guy? Then when it started winding down, I said, shit, the only one left that they have not showed is Congo Kong, and they're going to hype this guy as Mr. Fury. Okay. I don't care. I mean, he's athletic. I don't know how long they're going to go with this Fury thing because, I mean, let's be honest. If he goes up against a guy like, just say Moose or Bram or Matt Morgan, like, let's be honest, how much fury can this fucking guy really have? I mean, all right, he's bigger than Braxton, but there's a whole bunch of big boys that he's not going to be too, ferocious. I don't know. I'm not a fan of the guy. I mean, he's athletic, he's talented. If he does work, hey, whatever, win me over, but whatever.
He's fucking ferocious at a goddamn Golden Corral, that's for sure. Hurls, what do you think of Congo Kong?
Well, I'm glad he's finally kind of getting his shine in a national TV promotion. I know that he had some work with Ring of Honor. I don't know if you really want to count GFW because it never really took off, but I like it because I think Impact needs more monsters. I think they need more characters. Now, he is 37, so probably his most athletic days are probably behind him. But as far as what his body looked like, it kind of looked like Big Daddy V and Umaga had a love child, and out came Congo Kong. But I don't know. I like it. I think Impact can always benefit from having a guy like him. I think wrestling in general can have more monsters these days. So I'm fine with him. I thought he made a pretty good debut. I actually really like this. I think it gives Sienna, Laurel Von Ness, and KM a little edge to him. So I like Congo Kong. I'm interested to see where this goes.
Dude, between him and the Yokozuna clone signing with Impact, like, Impact Wrestling Catering is fucking hating life. I'm not gonna bash the dude too much, man. Like, he's athletic and all that. He's impressive. His looks all right. His look looks straight out of like 1991. Fucking Saba Simba came out like I don't want to say it's just kind of fucking racist coming out, like goddamn savage looking character. I guess something I'd more expect to see from Vince's mind, but I'm cool with it. Let's see how the dude rolls. Like I've kind of made fun of him. We can see how his rolls go. But I'm not gonna shit on the guy. I'm interested to see where it goes. Him and KM can be a tag team. Put them together. That's another tag team that could be in Impact Wrestling. So, hey, props to Congo Kong. Now, you were just talking titties galore. Santana Garrett, I forgot how fucking hot she was. So she made her Impact return. I mean, you may have remembered her as Brittany, the girl that somehow got sucked into the Samuel Shaw gimmick with the Buick put together, and simultaneously we saw 3 careers ended and washed out there with her, Samuel Shaw and Gunner back at the end of 2014. But she returned, had a great match with our Knockouts champion Rosemary, who's still being booked properly. Rosemary retained. Hurls, your thoughts on the match?
Oh, this match was awesome. Like, if you order Victory Road one night only, it's pretty much knockouts, knockdown, but you're going to see a lot of matches just like this one on Impact. I thought this match was really competitive, back and forth. Like, you actually thought maybe, okay, Santana Garrett's actually going to win this one. But, no, this match was awesome. Loved it. These two, I want to see a rematch. It's almost like Rosemary versus Jade. These two had great chemistry. I hope they can somehow re-sign Santana Garrett. I know back in 2014, I think she left because she was really upset with how she was booked. I mean, I'm just spitballing here, but I'm guessing that's why she left. I don't know if there was a actual reason, but this match was just awesome, and it's everything you want to see in the Knockouts division, just a nice competitive match back and forth.
Yeah, I completely agree with Hurls. I mean, this is what happens when you have two legit superstar females and, putting that work in. So much props to both women. I'm going to keep it short and sweet. This is a fucking dope shit.
For sure. It's good to see her back, and hopefully they re-sign her and keep her around. Rosemary, keep doing your thing. Fantastic Knockouts champ. I believe we'll see her against ODB on the live episode as the second of 3 title matches this coming week. So we know the other 2 title matches, Storm against Lashley, and the X Division title match. So Andrew Everett got the big win. He defeated Suicide, Marche Rocket, and Gregory Shane Helms. So the return of Gregory Helms, GS Helms, into the ring. He wasn't that impressive, but another win. Multi-man X Division match, but it was a good match. Pushing Andrew Everett, I think they need to go push him harder. It's really all that I stand this. Jeff, your thoughts on the X Division match?
Great ending. Once again, we've been saying it for so long. You got to push Andrew Everett. I mean, they're finally looking like they're doing it. These two guys have had some dope matches on the indie scene. TNA needs to start, Impact Wrestling, sorry guys. Impact needs to really start cashing in on what people already know how talented they are. Kind of like the Allie Rosemary thing. Like, already make it happen, Don't waste these people because, I mean, let's face it. We've had Allie for so long and we haven't seen her been able to do shit. We have Andrew Everett. They're finally starting to do something with them. It's like, let these guys do what they got to do. Entertain the fans. Now, I know you got to push other people, but fuck, man. Give us Andrew Everett. Give us Trevor Lee. Let's make this shit official. Like, push this guy already.
I liked it. I think it's storyline progression. It was a little slow burn. I think, in order to get to Trevor Lee, he's got to jump through all these hoops, and this was just another extra hoop. And it was good to see Gregory Shane Helms back in the ring again. I mean, I for some reason thought he couldn't wrestle anymore from some motorcycle accident he had, but apparently not. I mean, he looked fine in this match, so I'd actually like to see him wrestle a little more if possible. But I definitely want to see a one-on-one match with Andrew Lee. I combined them, but Andrew Everett versus Trevor Lee. I want to see these two go just a nice one-on-one match. I don't know if it's going to go to Slammiversary because they're going to have to keep that up for another 2 months or so. But I'm enjoying this feud, but I think eventually it's going to have to come to a head here pretty quickly.
No doubt. So I have no thoughts on this because last week on the show, FK9 and myself talked about. I kind of gave my words out, but the Veterans of War promo aired. From all indications and rumors, it's supposed to be Gunner and Crimson. I know you two guys wanted to key in and speak on that. So, Hurls, what's your thoughts on the Veterans of War stuff that you're seeing?
Two guys that deserve to have better runs than they did the last time they were in TNA. TNA at that time. I'm very pumped for these guys to come back. I can't wait to see what they can offer. I mean, this is Crimson. This is probably like, excuse me, my dog's really excited for Veterans of War here. But, no, I'm really excited for Crimson and Gunner to come back. I hope they have, a lot better than they did last time. I mean, Gunner was getting a main event push, and he looked like he was going to go somewhere, but then it just kind of halted. And, Crimson losing to James Storm at Slammiversary, I can't remember what year it was, but he lost him in like 8 seconds. That really derailed him. Then we saw him back in the World Title Series, but I think he was just there to fill a body, just to have, they just needed somebody extra. So, very pumped. I can't wait to see these guys as a tag team. I do know they were a tag team in OVW, so they do have a lot of history together, and hopefully we'll see them carrying the Impact Wrestling Tag Team Championships.
dope video package of the whole military thing. I love the military. Got a lot of military family. So I think this is going to be something that touches close to home with a whole lot of fans. I agree with Hurls completely. I'm just going to keep it once again short and sweet because Hurls just knocked a home run on it.
Yeah, for what you guys did. Let's just keep it fucking real. Like us here in the United States, we might be going to war soon with all the shit that's going down. So can help them get over a little bit more. Unfortunate types can cause that, but we keep it real that way. Also keeping it real. If you guys haven't heard the song, just Heelcast Nation, I don't care. Like some of y'all listen to metal and stuff like I do. It Dies Today, Severed Ties, Heals Severed Heads. That song kind of just reminds me of this Davey Angelina stuff. But we had Davey Richards go out and get the victory over DJZ. Very good match, in my opinion. Could have let him go a lot longer. Eddie and Alicia, they came in and attacked afterwards. My man Davey Richards getting the win. Chef, what were your thoughts on this one?
I mean, it's about time that, Eddie kind of gets the upper hand. And I don't know much about Alicia. I know people are high on her. I mean, it was a good match. I like Davey. I like Davey a whole lot more as a heel. I think he's badass. Angelina Love has been fucking amazing for this Davey Eddie thing. I like I said, I wanted to go a little longer, maybe Slammiversary, where something's involved with Davey and Eddie. I don't know. I'm a fan of what they're doing. I think Eddie got to get some wins. He's been getting the shit kicked out of him. So let's go Eddie for one win, which you'll never probably ever hear me say again.
It Dies Today reference brings me back to Ozfest 2005. Oh, that was a great Ozfest. But anyways, yeah, I mean, this match, you got to get Davey over. This feud's clearly going to keep on going for a while. I mean, I like it. I'm also kind of wondering if this is going to go all the way to Slammiversary, and I think it could. I'm kind of liking the new, Davey heel turn, but I'm really wondering, like, the upside down cross. Like, is that like I don't know how that relates to his character. Like, is he supposed to be like a devil worshiper or something? So I guess that's my one question about it. I mean, it's cool. It's definitely cool. Like, he comes out with some shirts that says, like, I like to watch you suffer. And, I like it. And I think they can go even more with this. But we'll see what happens in the coming weeks.
Yeah, I think obviously they're building up to what's going to be a 4-person tag match to kind of blow that feud off and end it there. So, speaking of 4-person matches, we had 4 people on a team in the 8-man tag. Now, Team JB, Jeremy Borash's team, defeated Team GOAT. So now, thank God, Josh Matthews is apparently done with Impact, at least as a commentator or whatnot. The fucking ironic part about this, guys, Josh Matthews in this match actually finally called a match with some excitement the way that he should have been calling matches basically his whole tenure and career in Impact Wrestling, which I just thought was the most ironic thing. Had Matthews commentated this way the entire tenure and actually made matches seem important, maybe we wouldn't all fucking hate the guy. But, hey, seems like we're down to JB and the Pope. This was a very entertaining match to me. I, of course, wish it would have been elimination rules. I'm happy Team Borash got the victory. Hurls, your thoughts on it?
This match was awesome. I mean, it had so much star power. I'm also with you. I think to make it like a little more dramatic, they could have made it a Survivor Series style match, elimination. But no complaints. It's just a real minor nitpick. I thought the main event was awesome. Fans were really going hard for Matt Morgan, as they should. The way this guy's been booked since he's come back, I do want to see him get the title. I really do, because he's been in Impact for a long time. If you look at it, yeah, he hasn't been in there for a while, but all the stuff that he had to go through, I think he should just get a reign by the end of the year, possibly, because he's just a 7-footer that can move as well as he can. The Undertaker can move well, Kane could move well, but another guy, Matt Morgan's right up there. So I enjoyed this match. It was good to see Magnus back. I'm very interested to see how they're going to use Magnus because, we all know what happened last time. He had a really good Impact Wrestling run. Like, I don't like when people say, like, oh, he was booked terribly his whole TNA run. Like, no, that's not true. It's just he had a bad title reign. His feud with Bram was fine, but unfortunately he had to get that stink off of his title reign. And, he had a lot, and then he had the whole James Storm thing, the train situation. So I think that kind of, gave a bad rap. But I'm very interested to see, like, how they use Magnus, how they're going to use Matt Morgan, how they're going to use Chris Adonis, who I think is also another underrated wrestler. I know FK9 wasn't a big fan of him, but I think I just think he needs a little more push behind him. I think he's got a lot of potential. But as far as like the outcome of the match, I'm happy with it. I don't hate Josh Matthews as much as most people do, but I actually thought he was kind of funny during this whole heel thing when he wasn't like consistently arguing with JB. He had some really funny one-liners, but it'll be interesting to see how JB and the Pope do moving forward on commentary. And, I mean, Josh Matthews isn't just going to disappear. They're going to have him do something, I would imagine. So I love the main event. I'm very excited to see where Impact goes. The main event for me gets a 9 out of 10.
I love the main event. I mean, I obviously had to root for, Team JB, even though two of my favorites were on fucking Josh's side. But my only beef with the whole thing is literally why my man Bram had to take the pin. Like, let Tyrus take the pin. You know what I mean? Like, come on, man. Of all people, you got to let my man eat the pin, whatever. I do want to give my man Chris a shout-out because when Matt Morgan threw fucking the GOAT shirt, it literally landed at my man's feet because nobody jumped up to grab it. And we all told him to toss that piece of shit back. And, he, like, spit on it, threw it back so Chris could shit. I agree that I think, Chris Adonis and all these new guys, I think they're all going to get pushed. And I think there's so much new talent. I mean, they're not new because, if you're a wrestling fan, you know them already. But they haven't been an Impact. I don't think Chris Adonis was ever an Impact guy. I know he was a GFW. So you got a lot of fucking talent on the roster. There's so many big guys. I mean, I honestly think they should bring back King of the Mountain Belt, which I know a lot of people are going to bitch about. I just think there's a lot of guys. If you throw put it back to the TV title, have some shit like that. There's just too many guys, and if you had an extra belt, I think it would, prosper the fucking everybody. Yeah, love it. I think it's going to be exciting going forward, and can't wait for a few days where I'm back at the Impact Zone booing all the good guys.
Absolutely, and Chef, you're going to have to hit me with spoilers at some point. No, guys, I want to bring this up real fast. So, old Davey Meltz is reporting that Matthews is not going to leave the broadcast booth and that this storyline and all that is going to play its way out this Slammiversary. I say make Matthews the manager. I say make Matthews the ring announcer. Just don't keep ruining these shows with this bickering back and forth with JB and Matthews. If Matthews wants to stay there, that's fine. Call the matches, make him be a heel, but work together. Take shots at times at each other, but don't distract or take away from the matches because that has been the one thing that people have been bitching about the product. Chef, any thoughts on that rumor? Anything you want to add to it?
I mean, I don't know, man. Fuck Dave Meltz. Sorry. The guy's always, I mean, he's right sometimes, but I don't know, man. I can't stand that guy. All he does is bash TNA and seems to want to just throw dirt on the wound, so nah, man. Hopefully he's wrong. I mean, keep the guy with a job. You don't want to see nobody with, fired or whatever. Let him do something in the back. I'm sure, Josh is a smart guy. He's been in the industry for many years. Let him do something, but I don't think I want to hear him back at the announce table because it took him I think he's been in Impact, I don't know how many years, but it finally took him the last 4 days of tapings to actually do his job. You know what I mean? Like, no one gave a fuck because he did such a lousy job before it, and he did get a little better, fine. But you're pretty much saying a little better is meriting him as like, oh my God, he actually had a few, one-liners, or he was funny here and there, but that doesn't mean he's consistent. You know what I mean? Like, I want someone consistent to do their job.
Yeah, anything you want to add on that?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I mean, there's a lot of people that hate him, and that's fine. I don't hate him as much as most people do. Whether he's a manager or he stays at the broadcast booth, it doesn't really bother me. Would I like to see Mike Tenay come back in some way, shape, or form? Definitely. Mike Tenay is, he's classic, but it's not gonna kill me if Josh Matthews is still there, because I think Josh Matthews actually does a lot of work for Impact Wrestling. Like, he does a lot of the stuff at the studios. He does a lot of the This Is Impact shows. He's always, promoting them on the YouTube page. So I think Josh Matthews definitely has a lot of passion for Impact, and that can't be understated. Yes, he does like to piss off a lot of people, and he's got that personality where, it just gets under your skin. But in reality, I think he does do a lot of good things for Impact.
Oh, he definitely does. And I mean, he's got that thing with Madison Rayne. I think it's called Around the Ring. Or it's something with a ring because they're married or some shit like that. That was pretty cool. He also got when they sit around the ring and stuff. He does do a lot, and I'll give you that. Like, and a lot of the stuff that when he's not acting corny, like, he actually comes off and you can see he's passionate about, wrestling. It's like, yo, take that passion and put it back into the commentary thing, because if he could bring that element where you sit back and you watch, maybe they're 4 or 5 minutes long, whatever, but if he could bring that back onto the commentary table, nobody would say shit, because they'd be like, oh, this guy fucking, he loves what he does. But when he's just sitting there and he's calling some dull shit, or like, I mean, I do have a beef with him just because how he did the DCC thing where he was like, oh, it's Bram, oh, Kingston, or who's this guy? Like, dude, show some excitement, and he did it to more than just that. It's a lot of matches he didn't call, and it just seemed like he didn't give a fuck.
Yeah, agreed. Dude, make him Madison Rayne's manager and let him get some heat when the other knockouts are wrestling and they're running the ropes. Have him be the heel manager that fucking trips the girls up and shit like that. I mean, this dude can get heat, man. They got to do something differently with the commentary. And, like, if he fucking commentated the way he did this match in every match, dude, like, we would fucking love Josh Matthews. I do got to say, man, like, I hope Adonis, Morgan, and Magnus are back on the roster for sure. I think it's pretty safe to assume Magnus is back for good. Morgan getting thrown in that, potential mix. Sounds like he's probably going to be back for sure. Him and Lashley could do big things. Morgan could definitely be a world champ one day if he got the right push. Adonis, I still want more talent on the roster. I don't know if these guys are here for good or not, but I guess we're going to find that out. Now, we're about to wrap up the show. I think we can all admit it was a really good episode. We'll let Chef get to bed. It's real late his time. But I'm just going to go to you guys. So this is the New Regime's first set of tapings. They're over with. We're going to get the next set coming Thursday. Chef, you're going to be there live. What's your thoughts, maybe pros or cons on the New Regime stuff, just overall that you're liking or not liking?
You know what, I like pretty much everything that I've seen, and it's like I said that I'm a huge fan of the whole tag team division pretty much, and that's kind of weird because now I have signs for everybody. I'm gonna look like a front running bitch, but I don't have any real cons. Like, I really enjoy everything they've done. It's been a whole lot of fun. And before I saw it sign out, there's a kid I met, and I got to shout him out because he's going through a lot of shit. I met him the other night, and little kid Aaron, mad cool, big WWE guy, John Cena kid. And, I told him, I said, I do a podcast, and he was kind of cool with it. He was laughing, going through his thing. And I said, Aaron, I was going to holler at you next time I was on my podcast. Get better, homie. I gave you my Twitter handle so your dad can holler at me. Wishing you well, buddy. The Heelcast got love for you. Get better. Love you.
Get better, Aaron, definitely. So, Hurls, thoughts on these past set of tapings?
I think they did the situation they were put in, especially with Rebby running her mouth and, kind of giving the new regime of trying to, throw dirt on them right at the start of their new stuff. I think, that hurt them going forward with a little bit. But them trying to establish what was Impact back in the day, which made it so good, I think they did that. Like, they brought in a ton of new tag teams. The tag team division actually is a division. The X division matches have gotten better. I've noticed tons of stuff that they've done that I'm just like, wow, this is so cool. And I think the X division is only going to get better with these next few tapings, like we said earlier in the podcast. The Knockouts division, if you watch Victory Road One Night Only, you will see how much better the Knockouts matches are compared to a year ago. I think the new regime, I mean, if you thought these tapings were maybe mediocre or not the best, I think they're just getting their footing. Because remember, they had to bring in a lot of those old storylines, and they had to, convert them to this taping, so, not everything was out of place. So I think they were kind of handcuffed with some of the things that they wanted to do. Now I think they can go forward and just do what they do best. Dutch Mantel is a great creative person. Jeff Jarrett's a great creative person, whether you dislike his heel persona or whatever, but he's a great mind for wrestling. Scott D'Amore, when they picked him up, that was just a solid signing. Now you're adding Sanjay Dutt. I think this team has limitless potential, and the sky's the limit for Impact Wrestling this year, and I think their ratings have been pretty consistent. So I'm very impressed with the new regime. I'm excited to have Jeff Jarrett back at the helm. I know, some people might like Rebby, but who cares? I'm excited. I'm pumped. I give these tapings an 8 out of 10, and there's definitely room for improvement, but very excited from what I'm seeing so far.
Yeah, I think it's a lot better, and I have some hope for sure with Impact Wrestling. The cons, where's Jesse Goddard? Jesse Goddard's, I don't see him as a main eventer, but dude's, he improved a lot of way. He's got a very good look to him. He's got that CBS background, the reality star. Him and Chris Adonis, kind of writes himself for Adonis to turn heel, which is kind of what he's better at for a feud between those two. Don't waste Jesse Goddard's talent. Allie, dropping the ball big. Let the girl do what made her basically America's sweetheart kind of style thing. That girl is gold. Her and Rosemary should be the leaders of the Knockouts division. DK, Crazy Steve and Abyss, stop doing them so wrong. Book these guys properly, and especially my man Crazy Steve. Give him a push. Commentary has been just, I think the cat's out of the bag. They probably got the reviews and the feedback. People are not digging this commentary argument going back and forth. Those are the cons. Look, the pros, it's like everyone is relevant. Everyone's kind of getting used on these tapings. You're not seeing the exact same stuff every week. You're kind of getting, everyone kind of cycled in and out, which I love. The match quality, a lot better. The X division is improving, getting better. I've loved the returns, the debuts and the returns. I've fucking loved to death the fact that they're bringing tag team wrestling back. Keep that going for sure. I'm loving that. LAX back, Conan back, all of that stuff has been great. It's just there's a lot better going on in Impact Wrestling now. There's a lot to be excited about, and I think these next tapings are going to take off. And you're right. Let's not forget that Hardy's, Galloway, Mike, and Maria all left right before these tapings started, and they took really a lot of bad, turned it around, made it big. El Patron, all of that stuff. So props to Impact Wrestling. So, guys, we're running late. It is 12:30 Chef's time. We're going to let the homeboy get to bed. So, cap it off. I'm the RAV Raveneffect on behalf of Chef, on behalf of Hurls. Thank you for checking out the Heelcast this week. We will see you next week. Check out Impact Wrestling Live. tapings. ImpactAsylum.net will have the spoilers for those of you that are into spoilers. All of that. We will see you around. Thank you.